Applied linguistics and error analysis. Applied linguistics is the theoretical and empirical investigation of real-world problems in which language is a central issue. According to McCarthy, the success of the applied linguistics enterprise depends on the identification, contextualization, exploration, and harnessing of resources for the evaluation of possible solutions to those language-related problems. In addition, the author states that language teachers can also become applied linguists when approaching language-related problems from their own context. This presentation aims at approaching an erroneous utterance produced by a language learner following McCarthy's 4 steps. The linguistic problem to be analyzed is the utterance, "I have got a dog brown." This erroneous utterance was produced by a 10-year-old student who is in 5th grade in a public primary school in Santa Cruz. The student's proficiency level corresponds to an A1 according to the Common European Framework of Reference. The student has been working on a unit about animals and descriptions in simple terms. The error was recorded during an open-ended activity which consisted in giving an oral description of the pets they have got at home. Error analysis in the field of foreign language teaching and second language acquisition can shed light on this language-related problem. Indeed, error analysis is a discipline that studies and analyzes errors produced by language learners. It proposes methods to deal with learners' errors and exploit them without damaging the learner's confidence. The utterance, "I have got a dog brown," does not imply a mistake or an undesirable language production. In fact, it is a manifestation of the learner's hypothesis about the target. In Pete Corder's words, errors provide evidence that a learner uses a definite system of language at every point in his development. This sentence shows an interlingual error which is produced by interference from the code of the native language. In fact, the utterance is totally comprehensible, but the learner resorts to the rules of adjective position in noun phrases of his mother tongue, Spanish, because he does not master those rules in the target language, or because he relies more on his native code for effective communication. As regards the error classification, it could be said that the error rating is appropriate semi-correct. Its error type is syntactic. The error class is interlingual, and its cause is negative transfer. Error analysis offers a possible solution to this specific language problem, which is related to the exploitation of the error. This discipline aims at exploring the learner's built-in syllabus, encouraging reflection, and giving him the opportunity to revise his hypotheses about the target language and try them out. This is connected to Kolb's experiential learning model, which offers an opportunity to use the error as a valuable and positive contribution to the learning process. Kolb's experiential learning model has 5 stages. Concrete experience. This stage helps the teacher grasp the rules of the learner's interlanguage. The error under analysis was recorded during an open-ended production, and the learner was asked to give authoritative explanations through the elicitation of questions such as, "What did you mean? Can you repeat it, please?" In the following class, this and other erroneous utterances were copied on the board, together with other appropriate and correct sentences, as part of an activity called the bet game, which consists of deciding whether each utterance is right or wrong, and make a bet of 1 to 100 imaginary dollars on their decision. With this game, students were encouraged to observe and reflect on the errors in a logic way. As the sentences were corrected, students were asked where the errors were placed, and together with the teacher, they worked out the rules. Students' reflection gave rise to a new abstract conceptualization. In the next class, learners were given a new communicative activity, which they had to fulfill, using the items discussed in the previous class. The activity consisted in a guessing game. The class was divided into two groups. One member of each group had to come to the front, and his group had to choose and describe a picture of a pet from a set of pictures of animals of different sizes and colors stacked on the board. Then the student in the front, based on that description, had to point at the correct animal. This game allowed the students to do an active experimentation of the rules formally worked out. The students were informed that this new practice of error exploitation would be repeated after the end of each unit, and that the teacher would record and store the recurrent errors for future exploitation in class. Learners were also explained that those errors should not embarrass them. On the contrary, they are pieces of useful language that show positive signs of learning and are in fact prominent contributions to the course. In subsequent lessons, students will be given more open-ended activities to practice animal descriptions. For example, design a flyer including the description and photo of a missing pet, give an oral description of the pet of their dreams, or draw and describe the pets you imagine Martians have got. These activities will not only allow for new instances of experiential learning cycles, but also for instances of formative evaluation. This type of evaluation is continuous, and it will give the teacher useful information to identify new aspects of a student's performance that need to be improved, as well as information relevant to adapt and design new experiences that will benefit their learning processes. The aim is to provide both the students and teacher with a gauge of where the level of understanding is at a given moment, and enable the teacher to adjust accordingly to meet the emerging needs of the class. A language-related problem concerning a student's error was analyzed following McCarthy's 4 steps. Indeed, the error was identified, contextualized, explored, and some resources as well as possible solutions were evaluated. Error analysis helped view the error as a result from incomplete knowledge and provided the teacher with valuable information to exploit it and adapt the syllabus to students' needs.